Hello and welcome to Stateside on Politics Social. I am Graham Hughes. I'm going to be joined in a few moments by Mikey Famine and Tim Bristol, who will be coming on the chat momentarily. I think Tim has already turned up, which is great. And while we wait for Mikey, I'll be just be saying hello to Blabla CW. I'll be saying hello to Diz and Hayton Puds, Chris C, Scott in the chat as well. Hello everyone. And Saz, if you'd like to join our friends in the chat here, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. So head over to here we have it's Tim. How you doing, Tim? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Don't know what you're saying, but I can't hear it. You need to press some I don't know, sound button. Say something, Tim. Say something. Come. This is why we need to get set up before we actually start rolling. This is my fault. No, still can't hear you. Still can he hear you? Here's Mikey. Maybe I can hear Mikey. Hello, Mikey. Are you there?
No.
No. Well, at least we can hear Mikey. You can't hear Tim at the moment.
Here we go. Here we are.
Hello. Can you hear Tim, Mikey?
No.
Can you hear me now?
You're really quiet. You're like a little tiny mouse. But Mikey, you're quite quiet as well, mate.
No, I'm not. You're quiet.
Am I quiet? No, you're quiet.
Can you hear me now?
No, you're really quiet.
Check your sound settings in Zoom. It usually starts us at like 15 or 20%, so you might have to crank it.
Crank it, baby. Yeah.
So you hit the little caret and then audio settings.
Speaker, microphone. My microphone's right up. Is my mic okay, Mikey?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
I'm at like 50%, which I never have to do, but this is Zoom.
Okay. So hello everyone in the chat. So what are we talking about tonight, guys? Because there's not much has been going on.
I would like to remind everyone about a little man called Elon Musk. Most people don't remember him, but he was there to save us. What is he supposed to save us money? I think he said he was going to save us money. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we just spent a couple of $1 billion over the weekend.
Yeah, what'd you spend it on? A nice pair of shoes, meal.
We spent it on 14 things.
14 things.
14
fireworks.
And the gas
to get them over
to get those 14 things, and then the things and the maintenance on the things and the base, the specialized base to hold the things, the super long runways for bomb, like all that. I mean,
can you explain what you're talking about? Because there's people watching this who might not know.
Trump has decided that it is in America's best interest to protect its best friend in the whole wide world, Israel, and to bomb Iran's nuclear sites.
Oh, that's problematic, isn't it?
Yeah. And before everyone says, but there needs to be congressional approval. You're showing your age. That was pre 9/11. We are now post 9/11. So he just has to give a book report within 30 days explaining why he needed to do that.
But even before then, from 1941, I think, onwards, December 1941, the president had the power to get the army to invade a country and then could ask for permission afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the Executive Powers Act of 1941 or 1942. And in the wake of Pearl Harbor, you can understand. How's Tim doing? Tim, you still on silent? You've got your little mute symbol.
You're actually muted now.
You're actually muted.
Yeah, no, I was doing a microphone test. Can you hear me now?
Oh.
No, you're still really quiet.
I'm still
We're quiet.
Yeah, massively quiet. Don't know what's going on there, mate.
Send me a picture. Text me a picture of your shit.
No. Oh, you mean the setup? Okay, sorry.
Me and Tim have a friend relationship. We wouldn't actually send each other fecal matter to each other because we respect each other as journalists and husbands.
Yeah.
So what's the reaction over in the UK?
Well, it's kind of like for everyone who's a millennial, we're just kind of like, oh, Yeah, it's this again, is it? Oh, I had one of these before. We're doing it again, are we? Like we did in Libya, like we did in Syria, like we did in Iraq, like we did in Afghanistan. It always works out so well. You know, getting involved, sticking our bombs where, you know, they don't belong. I don't know. There's been a lot of people on our side who are like, we really need to be having a look at our relationship with the US, and if it does come to a big kickoff in the Middle East, we're not, please, for the love of God, we're not following you on a daft military adventure into the desert again. I mean, you know, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on fucking me, doubly so.
I can't be fooled again.
Can't be fooled again. Well, actually, we might be. I don't know, but so
Can you hear me now? Is this better?
That's way
There
better.
we go.
Woo, yes, we can hear you. Thank you, Tim. But what I'd like to bring Tim
Hi.
on this in a moment. But what I think is going to happen, looking into my crystal bollocks, is that I don't think it's going to kick off. Could be wrong, but I don't think it's going to particularly kick off. There was a strike this evening where the Iranians hit targets in Qatar, not far from Doha, the capital. I think they also hit a target in Iraq as well. Military bases, well defended. They were given a heads up. They were told that these missiles were coming over, and they blew them out of the sky. Nobody died. No one was injured. But obviously, Iran had to do some kind of show of like, how dare you do this? Now, a couple of years ago, something very similar happened where Israel assassinated a leader in the Iranian regime, and the Iranians fired a bunch of rockets towards Israel, knowing that all get intercepted, which they all did. But it was like, oh, we have to show that we're doing something. We can't just lie back and take this. We have to, you know, we don't actually want to kill anyone.
You mean when Israel rigged a fucking Gustavo Fring style explosive in somebody's apartment building or someone's hotel room in a foreign country that wasn't their country? Yeah. I mean, this has got Netanyahu's filthy hands all over it. Just like Saddam's got WMDs. Hey, trust me, man. I've been around a long time. WMDs, they've got them. Yep, WMDs coming at you. They got them. Here they come.
Yeah.
Any day now, they're gonna have them. Just any day now. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow they'll have them, or yesterday. Who knows? Let's bomb them anyway. Like,
I don't think
remember how it went
anyone.
last time?
I don't think anyone actually thinks that Iraq has got weapons of mass destruction. Sorry, did I say Iraq? Freudian slip. Iran has weapons of mass destruction. Nobody thinks that. They lie.
I mean,
they'll say it. Christy Nome was up there like a couple of months ago saying, "Oh, they haven't got any." Was it Christy Nome? No,
Tulsi Gabbard.
That's it. Mar-a-Lago face. Anyway, Tulsi Gabbard in March saying, no evidence whatsoever they've got nuclear weapons or can develop nuclear weapons. And then literally 3 months later, she's there. And someone said to Trump over the weekend, so, you know, when your intelligence says that there's no threat, like they don't have a bomb. He says, who said that? And they said, your director of intelligence.
Well, she's
Tulsi
wrong.
Gabbard. Well, she's wrong.
She's wrong.
And now she's come out and said, oh, yeah, I was wrong. Trump was
because the God King said it was wrong. So now it's wrong.
To be fair, it is Tulsi Gabbard.
That is awesome.
We live in
to
this
be fair,
weird fucking world. This is very Soviet, where everyone knows it's all a lie, but everyone just indulges the lie. You know, there's like a kid who, like, you know, is a pain in the ass, but you got to kind of keep them sweet because they've got like superpowers and they could just kill you by looking at you. And you just got to lie and say, that's a good thing you did, Anthony. That's a good thing you did.
Look, I watched a documentary not too long ago called The Boys on Amazon. You don't appease baby Homelander. You lure him into a false sense of security and you make him hate himself, and then he goes off to a cell. Like, you have to treat threats as threats and treat them in a way that is functional. when we had the opportunity to, I don't know, lock somebody up for crimes they committed, maybe we should have took it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Maybe we wouldn't be dealing with this right now if we prosecuted people when they did something that was bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that might be my black bias coming through, that where I just live in a society where any crime I do might end up in I don't know, life imprisonment.
Yeah,
but it's just, I mean, it's right there, guys. Just lock them up next time, huh?
The way they acted around Baby Homelander was so stupid. Like, they should have just taught him how to be nice. Just like, you know, this is not what your mum wants. This is because he's seeing that Homelander's a creep. Do you know what I mean? But then doing that, you've got to kill your dad. Are they fucking stupid? Do you know what I mean? That never worked with Luke Skywalker, did it? If Darth Vader hadn't had a change of heart, Luke would be bloody brown bread. It'd be toasty halfway down a reactor shaft. Probably survive now in Star Wars, but you know.
I mean, if Obi-Wan wasn't a bitch, we wouldn't have had to deal with any of that.
Yeah, Obi-Wan had just manned up.
If he would have just kicked his ass into that lava, we're good here, right? Like the super powerful one's been burnt up by lava, but Obi-Wan's a bitch, and now we had to deal with Vader.
If the Jedi weren't so shit.
Yeah, the Jedi are the worst.
They're no good
at their job. They have
the
one
Democrats.
job. They are the Democrats.
For an intergalactic peacekeeping force, they really sucked.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They got the best, coolest weapon in the whole galaxy. Do they use it? No. I only block laser bullets with it. It's like, come on, brother, do some good. See? I like when the Inquisitors were going through on the Obi-Wan show. I was like, finally, someone using a goddamn lightsaber. I'm so sick of not seeing them. Like, they're too cool to not have everywhere.
Well, that's
like a car.
That's why I liked Andor.
No lightsabers.
There's no fucking lightsabers in it. No space
You
wizards.
big nerd. You nerd. It's fantasy. I like the high drama political fantasy.
Yeah, you probably like the Trade Federation stuff.
I'm so excited. I wrote an article about 10 years ago for the BFI about the influence of Japanese cinema on Star Wars, and it's actually going to be reproduced in the notes in the booklet that comes with the new BFI reissue of Akira Kurosawa's The Hidden Fortress on Blu-ray in the UK.
I think you just stunned. I think you just stunned it on us, Tim. I think you just stunned it on us real hard.
I'm just so shocked. It's like, I wrote an article about Star Wars like 10 years ago, and they're like, "Oh, can we use this? It's really good." I'm like, "Wow, okay." That doesn't normally happen to me. I don't usually get recognition. Although I did get £2 super chat, so that's good. Off Cavan Lad 1000. Thank you very much, Cavan Lad. 100. Sorry, even for the 199. That's very kind of you. And I got a red right hand. That's my left hand. Hang on. Red right hand. Bloop bloop. Let's play out the scenarios on WOMD at Fordo. Do you really believe they wouldn't have moved any materials before the bombs fell? I'm also I'm less worried about the warheads, more dirty bomb.
Let's do the first one first.
Moving stuff out is a fucking. It's not as you can't just put.
Of course, it's gone.
No, you can't.
No, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone. It's
if they
gone.
had any sense, it's gone.
They moved it already. It's gone. As soon as Trump got in there, it's gone. It's gone.
I think it's a bit difficult to move.
No, the news was already reporting on that there was material that was moved.
Yeah, but
it's
what
gone.
Material?
They said uranium gas.
They've got their own uranium.
Right, they have mines of it.
Yeah.
But they were removing uranium gas is what I heard.
Right, the
super
the hexafluoride, the uranium hexafluoride. So like it's gone. That's why this is so stupid, and this is why you shouldn't listen to fucking Netanyahu. It's gone. He's always
There's lots of reasons why we shouldn't
wrong.
listen to Netanyahu. But
He's never been right before. So why do they keep listening to him?
Okay,
that shit is gone.
I don't know if they could have got rid of all the equipment that is down there. I mean,
no, you leave you leave the equipment.
Yeah, but that shit is like difficult to make.
They're rich.
Oh. They have oil money.
They have a uranium mine. Like they're rich.
Well, the other
like,
thing is
not...
about the dirty bomb, the type of radioactivity that radioactive substance they've got is uranium, and you need a fuckload of that to make it actually go like nuclear. Whereas a plutonium bomb, I think, is a bit smaller, but I don't think they got any plutonium from last ahead. But do you know what? Iran is still a signatory to the nuclear non-proliferation fucking agreement. Israel isn't.
Their parliament just voted to leave that.
Yeah, they're not anymore.
Maybe an hour ago.
Yeah. Well, what do you think was going to happen?
So they are now no longer part of the nuclear proliferation agreement.
Well,
is the U.S. a part of that?
Yes. The only countries that weren't were Israel, South Sudan, and I don't know, North Korea. Maybe.
I don't think they're getting back in there until Israel joins. I'm just saying. I'm calling balls and strikes. I don't think they're coming back. Like, I think they're out for good.
And they don't want to get bombed by Israel anymore.
And I think the Middle East at this point, none of you can have nukes. Sorry, whole region, you're all banned. All the rest of the countries have decided that y'all's cannot have them. Nope, none of you, because you fight too much. So no. Good fights, bad fights, all fights, too many fights, no nukes. How about no one has nukes? Do we need nukes anymore? How about no? Because I think what will have a strangely a larger effect than a nuke in either one of these countries is the Straits of Hormuz is going to be, is it closed now? I think they're shutting it down.
There's to close it.
So there's your.
I think that would be. I think they will try to, because they voted to do that in the parliament. But the actual doing of that is going to be quite tricky, especially with all the GCC countries in the region.
At least my gas is going to be cheaper. That's why I voted for Trump. Cheap gas, right? Yeah. Hey, cheap gas right around the corner. Or apparently, you could vote for the guy that bombs.
Apparently, the other country, so South Sudan, which doesn't have any nuclear material, whatever. It's a new country. South Sudan, Israel, and it's India and Pakistan have not signed the nuclear non-proliferation.
I'm not surprised that India and Pakistan have not signed it.
They'll sign it when the other one signs it.
With regards to the Strait of Hormuz, America is now calling on China to help keep it open. We're begging China to tell Iran.
Oh, no. When China comes crawling for a deal, baby, with them tariffs, hey, there's no other implications at all with starting a tariff war with the other superpower.
Well, this is like the saying, the tariffs haven't kicked in yet because of all of the stockpiling done by these companies before the tariffs came in. But there's got to be a shock at some point. There's got to be a point where things are just going to go through the roof. I think it's going to be, it's going to be very
all
quiet
of them at
for a
once.
long time, and then all at once it's just going to go a bit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't feel like this is I'm calling it World War what the fuck, because at the moment I can't see, with Iran being where it is and it having its sort of friends in the region decimated in the last couple of years. It doesn't have Syria anymore, doesn't have Hezbollah in Lebanon, doesn't have Hamas really, and it doesn't have the Houthis really. I mean, I don't know how much damage the Houthis can do, but in the Middle East, I think it's just going to be business as usual in terms of just countries that fucking hate each other and occasionally kill each other's citizens. My big worry on this is the people who will be activated around the world, pissed off that their country's been attacked. Maybe they've lost a loved one, and what might happen as a result of that in terms of possible terrorist attacks.
Well, that's what Iran was threatening, is that there are like sleeper cells that they can activate but who knows how much bluster that is.
Well,
for the saber rattling capital of the world, planting paranoia in your enemy is a good strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hill Gara, thank you very much. Hi Gara. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Hi Graham and co. Hope my favourite mercenary is well. Favourite mercenary? Who's a mercenary? What? Tim, are you a mercenary?
Nope, not me.
Mikey, are you a merc?
So I got something in the chat over here. It says just tuned in, but how do they bomb somewhere then say we want peace? Let's talk. Please explain.
I
This
have
this is peace through strength. I hurt you, so be nice.
so this is diplomatically, this is Iran trying to save face. They warned Qatar ahead of time. They basically said, "Hey Qatar, we're going to shoot missiles at the US airbase in your country. Don't tell America, but tell them."
But tell America.
And then Qatar warned the base that missiles were coming in and we're probably just going to shoot them down anyway. But this happened in 2020 as well. In retaliation for one of Iran's top generals being killed, they, just shot some missiles at some places that didn't really do that much. But it's a way for the country to save face with its own citizens and say, we're not really into this. Please stop.
Yeah.
Like I have to respond to this. So please I'm going to lob some easy to shoot down missiles at you. You shoot them down, you win. I save face. Everybody gets to walk away.
Yeah, this is like weird international diplomacy through strategic military strikes that ultimately don't amount to much. Trump may have went too far in bombing the nuclear sites, but this kind of like exchange has been going on for decades with Iran and other countries. You hit one of my bases, I hit one of your bases, and then we just go to our respective corners.
Right.
Yeah.
And we can both say that we did what we had to do.
Yeah. We're both tough on the other to our constituents, whilst not actually endangering any escalating incidents to precede it.
Yeah.
And Triton 589, what a nerd. What a stupid name.
Well,
Russia will give them more. That is the other part, is they have friends. So bombing their nuclear site just kind of encourages those friends who are not our friends to form a stronger bond than what needed to be there.
But then, the Russian regime has a lot of power over America at the moment since they've got their boy in the White House.
Well, that's the thing. When you got one string that's Russia and one string that's Israel, Iran is where the strings cross. Who do you listen to?
So,
I mean,
this is all playing out in the Middle East. What's it like in the US right now? Because we're seeing a lot of MAGA on MAGA action. You're seeing people like...
Don't kink shame me.
Marjorie Taylor Greene and that disgusting Steve Bannon creep, and famously had Tucker Carlson.
Gargoyle.
Fucker Carlson. The fucking butthurt, always whinging, privileged little shit off Fox News, formerly of Fox News.
Dude, he's so rich. It's infuriating. He's so rich. Like, unbelievably rich.
He's the heir to the Swanson chicken fortune or whatever. Like,
yes.
He doesn't need this. He doesn't need any of this. He's doing it for the love of the game.
He's just doing it.
Everyone.
He's doing it to get his rafter in his jersey in the rafters. That's all this. He's going down as a legend. Ugh, it's gross. He's so rich.
He's not doing it for money at all. He doesn't need any money
at all.
No.
Gross.
But there's a faction of the GOP, the Republicans, who were promised by Trump that he wouldn't start any wars, and they believed him. And then there's the other people on Trump's side who wanted the wars and are egging Trump on in these wars. And those two sides are clashing. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
A lot of the Senate Republicans and congressional Republicans feel like they've been lied to, and they have, because they were told no new wars and they wouldn't spend all this money on new wars, and that Trump would stop all this. That's what the whole America First thing was. And then Trump said, well, guess who decides what America First means? Me. So
you're not getting that cheap gas. You're not getting that Doge check. I kept trying to we tried to warn you. It wasn't gonna happen.
So
I'm,
once again, he whittles away at his support.
mhm. Which
Yep.
is I mean, if he really wants to try this third term thing, he's really going about it all wrong. Like you gotta bribe the people. He should have went the Elon route. Like, hey, I'm giving $1,000 to everybody who wants to be a delegate, to try to give me some fucking like that's that. If he wanted to stay in, bribing would have been better than embroiling everyone into absolute chaos and abject poverty. Like, if these gas prices hit $5-6, it's gonna suck over here. I mean, you guys already pay that stuff, but you're used to it.
We've got Tim Ballum in the chat. Thank you very much for the £10 super chat there. MAGA on MAGA action is like 2 girls, 1 cup. Cheers for that.
Gross.
You somehow made it worse.
So gross.
I don't know how you made it worse, but you just made it worse. But yeah, I think that unfortunately, the Trump MAGA base, they like to spat with each other, but they see each other as a fucking family, and I think they always kind of just end up wake up the next day, and then they're like, oh, but I love Trump, and then they'll fall in line. I just
They've
don't
all
think
they've
all been rejected by their families.
yeah, I know. So this is their new family. This is their new cult that they're part of.
They love
And
Big Brother.
yeah, they love him. They really do. And I'm just looking at the polls, and after all the shit that Trump has done, he's still pretty fucking high compared with where he should be. I know he's like
whose poll?
Just all of them.
You know what I mean? Because that's the other thing. Like, I love polls are great, sure. But who are they asking? You know what I mean? Because
people have landlines, that's who they're asking.
Like, that's not really indicative of like Midas Touch being the #1 podcaster lets me know that he's losing support. You know what I mean? Like, there's signs, but I think the polls are like the worst way of objectively like getting statistics on it, because I've never been polled once in my entire life. And I feel like I would. No.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but they only poll about 1,000 people.
Well, yeah. Here's how polling works, because I'm
also almost 40.
Polling, they ask about between 1,000 and 2,000 people. Depends on like the area that they're polling. I don't know what poll you're talking about or what their methodology is, but it's usually between 1 and 2,000 people. They find out if it's statistically significant, and if it is, they publish it. They don't really care what the results are. And to be honest, because I worked in polling, you call, let's say, 100 people an hour, you might get 1 person to fill out the survey in that hour. So it's a tough gig, and especially now because there's a lot of people out there giving false results.
Right.
They're going out there and they're saying, if they're some sort of MAGA fucker and they're just fucking with you because you're polling it happened to me, you still got to record it. You don't know.
Skewing all the shit. Yeah.
And people will lie. People have biases and they will lie regardless. It is not empirical in the way that you're going to get actual results. That's why there's always an error percentage, or the plus minus. That's factoring in people fucking with you.
And that's why I feel like using polls nowadays can a lot of times just be manipulating narratives, where they will put out a poll to get an answer to a question, but again, they won't reveal the whole methodology. We don't have a big 15-minute segment about how they came to this information. You just get, like, you know what I mean? You just get the percentage that you want, or the one that fits their That was me. I tapped my hand. The dog's off to go kill the intruder that's coming into the house. Right. That was me. I think a lot of these people who voted for Trump, #1 concern was money. This is bad for the money. On top of everything else that he's already got going, that's bad for the money. We're still riding the outside corner edge of the bubble of a tariff-free zone, but That bubble's bursting soon. Like, whilst he's bombing shit, he still hasn't figured out trade at all.
And
So,
and to go back to polling for a second, if there's all different kinds of levels of it, right? There's independent groups that do polling. There's like universities that do polling, like Quinnipiac University, and then there's like partisan groups that do
yeah.
polling. And you could get asked leading questions. You can have answers that only want you to go a certain way. You really have to watch out for what kind of organizations are doing the actual polling. Because if it's a partisan organization or they're working for a campaign, you're going to get skewed results
Well, this is
regardless. You're going to
why
get whatever results they want you to get.
when we had 538, it doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. They're
Got
taking
bought up by
aggregates.
ABC.
Yeah, yeah, and then they got
Really?
rid of it. They'll take.
No way.
They would. They
Yeah.
would first of all rate the polls, so you'd get and then weight them accordingly, depending on who was
Right.
paying for the polls to be commissioned. But look, I mean, net approval ratings percentage. This is polls of polls for this many days into presidencies. Obama was plus 17. Biden is plus 8. Trump in his first term was minus 13 at this point, and in his second term he's minus 11. So I mean that
The
doesn't
dude
look
has
to
a
me.
floor.
Sorry,
He's got a floor.
yeah,
There's a point where he can't go down anymore because
Yes,
the supporters just love him.
I think he's there. I think this is
Yeah.
it. He's going to hover for the rest of his fucking shit term in his job around 15% minus 15%.
But he
Because
also
I think
has a
it's the floor.
ceiling of like 45, 46%. Like he if he breaks into the 50% range, it's a miracle.
Yeah.
He did so for like a couple weeks in January and then it went away.
Yeah. He was actually for the first time in his first term. He was always underwater. His net approval was always in the minuses
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
day one. It was 2%, 3% in February, and then it just took a nosedive in March, and just kept on going down after that. But yeah, it went down after he announced his fucking tariffs. It went down to about 11% there, and then it rose a bit, and then it's gone back down to around 11%. So I think he's hit the base.
I think if there is like any relevance to polling, I think once the tariff thing happened and then all of shows like us went out there and said, you're paying it. You're paying. People were like, wait a minute. And then it was like the #1 Google thing. I was like, uh-oh. They didn't believe you. They Googled it after you said, no, China's paying. They're like, motherfucker, did he just say? I'm going to just make sure real quick. And lo and behold, yeah. As soon as they found out that they were paying that shit. But it's still coming. And that's what they keep forgetting. They acted like, oh, well, he put in the tariffs and that got everybody to the table. And now everybody's begging us to make a deal. Like, that's the narrative that they believe. They have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea. They have forgotten about it. They have been sufficiently circused and breaded. So now they will not pay attention until they're like, holy shit, gas is $9 in the city. What the fuck just happened? What just happened? Who did that? Joe Biden. And there's not a Democrat skeleton even in sight. He has completely conquered the landscape. Congratulations. The giant monument you've erected in your own honor now serves as the beacon of everybody's hatred. So good job.
I love that in the Middle East now they're saying, oh, we want a regime. Well, sorry, Trump is saying that he wants a regime change, and Netanyahu's saying this as well in Iran. The worst possible way you can go about trying to make a regime change is by bombing the country that you want the regime change to happen in, because everywhere in the world, all the time, throughout history, you have a rally around the flag effect. You have people going, hang on, we're being attacked by other people. Well, we're going to stop fighting amongst ourselves for a moment, and we're going to, band together and take on the greater enemy. And you've seen a lot of people who are part of the Iranian diaspora or are reporting out of Iran who, may be part of the resistance against the Ayatollah and the religious regime over there. And they're saying, no, not having this. I know I don't like the government, but this is our country and you can't just fucking go around dropping bombs on it. And the maddest thing of all is, if you imagine, when you started saying earlier, Mikey, about like it being a lot of money that they've dropped in Iran. That's a lot
So
of
much money.
American taxpayers' money to drop in there. The idea is regime change. They want to take out the Ayatollah Khomeini. He's 86 years old. Just wait. Just wait a few years. What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't understand why they can't just go, he's going to be dead soon anyway.
Why is the world currently old guys wanting to kill other old guys?
I don't know.
What's going
just
on
give it
here?
a few years, mate. The trash will take itself
out. They're all going to fight mortality one way or another.
Listen, there's an easy way to settle this. It's called the Mortal Kombat tournament.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I agree.
There you go. Earth's leaders.
But
whoever wants to come and join.
It's a stand-up cabinet. So if you're old, hey, that's a disadvantage. You got to stand up and actually hit your taps. You got to stand up. No chairs.
Oh, no, Mikey. I was talking about an actual Mortal Kombat tournament.
Tim, we're online. I'm not sure why this whole Team America World Police isn't like immediately triggering in people like that same feeling of, holy shit, look at all these young veterans who are totally fucked, who are not ready to come back into society and are having troubles and all these issues. All the fundraising we did for the troops, all the burn pit. Remember the burn pits? Jonathan Stewart raised money, or David Hogg raised money for the burn pits for those people. Like, do you not remember what war was like last time?
Yeah.
A lot of them don't, because a lot of these idiot young kids, like all that shit was made up to them. You know what I mean? Like it's just as immaterial as like the Korean War to someone born in the, like, we don't know anything about it. We didn't experience it. We didn't feel it. Our life wasn't really affected by it. We're born after it all already happened.
Yeah. Joanna,
it's weird.
Joanna in the chat's referencing the classic Frankie Goes to Hollywood video for two tribes where the leaders fight each other instead of troops and civilians. Yeah, Mortal Kombat, bring it on. I'd make a nice change, wouldn't it?
Or duels. What happened to duels? We don't duel no more?
Do you know what it's like, though?
What happened to duels?
In Star Wars, where it was like fucking Yoda fighting Count Dooku, and then it was Yoda fighting the Emperor, and it's like these old dudes having lightsaber battles. I'm like, fuck off. Like, what is it, these old people fighting? Just leave us all alone. Let the galaxy take care of itself, but like old people being evil.
Yoda should have been. Yoda should have.
Don't you?
Go ahead, Tim. Go on.
Oh, I was gonna say, don't you remember when Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan fought Darth Maul and how awesome that was?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yoda should have been retired for at least 600 years.
Yes.
I'm just saying, he can't just hog that seat on the council forever. He had no signs of slowing down there.
Well, he walks around with a cane, doesn't he? Except when he's fighting and then he's all hopping around like a fucking...
That's a sword cane, man.
I wanted to see Samuel L. Jackson with a lightsaber fighting people. That's what I wanted to see.
Well, he did for 5 seconds when he fought Palpatine. Senator
yeah, but
Palpatine.
They were like, oh man, Samuel L. Jackson's in Star Wars, and then they give him nothing to do.
Yes.
He did get the purple lightsaber. Yeah, I was about to say he did get the purple joint.
Tim Ballum, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. ICE has imprisoned the wife of a Marine veteran who was still breastfeeding a 3-month-old baby.
That's special.
Fucking hell. Thanks very much, Tim, for the super chat. That is just... But the fellow who was arrested for writing hurty words on the internet or attending a pro-Palestinian rally, he's been released quietly, hasn't he?
Yep.
At the same time that Trump
Mahmoud Khalil is free,
dropping bombs,
and Kilmar Abrego Garcia is back stateside, and now they're trumping up all these crazy charges to try to catch him on other shit so they can try to deport him. It's not gonna work. He's actually got lawyers now, and everyone's paying attention now. So you're gonna have to run a clean trial. I'm like, well, we'll appeal it, and da da da. Yeah, and then they just won't. And they'll just blow up something else, and then people will stop paying attention to it.
So if we made Mortal Kombat World Leader Edition, like Trump for his death move could like could hammer on someone's head till they turned into like a hamburger patty, and then he could put them in a bun and devour them.
That's his
Could be
like
Trump's-
fatality.
Yeah, that's his
That's his
fatality
fatality.
move. Puts them in a fucking hamburger. That'd be boss. What could Putin
I'm about to
do?
say he uses his tiny hands and hits them 1,000 times.
You know, it'd be really funny, right? If you had like Putin, and his death move would be he'll turn and he'll just like open a window that wasn't there, and like a window, and then he yeets them out the window, and you see them crash to the ground. And
He breaks the
big
fourth
pile
wall.
of bones.
He breaks the fourth wall and throws you, defenestrates you through the fourth wall.
Yes, yeah, that'd be excellent. We should do this Mortal Kombat World Leader Edition. Make it really fucked up.
You don't want to know what Carnies is. We can't talk about it on the stream. The Canadians are truly barbaric.
Samuel L. Jackson said in an interview, according to Anne, that he wanted the purple lightsaber. They said you can't have a purple one. He said he wanted the purple one, and they caved. He said, "Like, give me a motherfucking purple lightsaber."
Yeah, I don't think you can't tell Samuel L. Jackson no.
It's like, oh, you can make them different colors, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna make mine purple. Well, not that color. But you just said you can change the color of them. So make mine purple. Okay, we understand each other.
Yeah, yeah. So the ADR mean death move, he could like chop your legs off, put you in a wheelchair, and then dump you in a lake.
Stop trying to seduce me, wife.
What?
Graham, what about your prime minister? What was your prime minister's finisher fatality?
Starmer?
He would bore them to death. They would like be
Oh,
sat in a
he'd start
chair
reading.
and he'll start reading at them, and then they'll like it'll be like the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade where he chooses the wrong cup and he's like gets really old.
I need
Just like he smashes apart as a skeleton.
I need that on the soundboard. That bum bum bum. The fatality sound.
Finish.
Yes. Yes. Note to self. Oh yes, that will be excellent. Yes. Fatality sound. I'm doing that over the tank. The tank is not so.
Can I do Pete's crap joke? Pete's told a crap joke. Have you got the squeaky tank? Have you got the squeaky tank?
No.
Synced up.
No.
Oh, we need the squeaky tank noise.
I was literally saying I gave up on the squeaky tank.
Really?
Yeah, it's hard to get it.
Is it?
It's hard to get it,
I
and it's
found it
really-
on YouTube.
But the squeak is not sonically great.
Is it not? Yeah, but
It's very screechy.
squeaky tank. Squeaky tank.
Screechy tank.
Squeaky tank. Squeaky tank parade.
Do we
Here
need
go.
Saved by the Bell on the soundboard? I don't really care for that show.
No, I don't give a shit about that. Right, I've got it. I've got it set up. Hang on. So the joke is, where was it? Pete. Darth Vader said to Luke, "Luke, I know what you've got for Christmas." "No, how could you know?" says Luke. Vader says, "I felt your presence."
It's not coming
Yeah,
through.
it's not-
No, that's
it's
not as
coming
good as
through.
it should be. I found one that it was just a squeaky tank. It didn't have any sound. It didn't have any like music. It was just squeaky,
I would like-
squeaky.
I would like to give gold stars to Mikey and Tim for allowing the squeak to not even come through, and we just gave it hope that it would just
Yeah,
arrive.
we were
Yeah.
just yes-anding until
Yes,
it was
yes,
impossible to do it.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. I got it.
Yes, and
Come on, that's a good sound effect for a crap joke.
It's not coming in. It's not trans. It's
We couldn't-
probably
it's
getting
not coming
noise
through.
canceled.
yeah, it's not coming
Oh,
through.
really? It's not. It's not
Right.
Yeah.
well,
We
I
can't
think
hear
I think
it.
my viewers at home heard it because I'm not coming through Zoom for them. I'm coming in direct.
Okay.
Not with a couple of seconds and milli.
Hey,
yeah, the
Trump,
squeaky tank.
Trump just said that thanks for the heads up from Iran for the missile attack, and that
Did he
Iran's
really?
response was right. Yeah, he said he called Iran's response weak, and he thanks Iran for the early notice.
Tim, are you Nostradamus or what? Are you Nostradamus, or can you see the future? Tell me more about the future, sir. I am
Well-
all ears.
Well, Trump's going to be president for the next 3 years.
Oh no.
Say it ain't
Because
so.
we can't have nice things.
We got a message from Phil Morehouse saying, "Yeah, it's all looking like a choreographed pantomime now." After having previously vowed a strong U.S. response, this is from a reporter from the White House, any Iranian attacks on U.S. troops or assets, Donald Trump has again, it seemed, opened the path to peace. Perhaps Iran could proceed to peace and harmony in the region, he said, and I will enthusiastically encourage Israel to do the same. The tone of the post is a far cry from his suggestion of regime change in Tehran earlier.
But yeah,
There you
this sort of like political theater is so common. There's a West Wing episode about it. Like
They
it
always
happens.
do this.
It happens. Now, what Israel is doing to Iran is not that.
No.
What Israel and Iran are going through is literally probably an actual war, right? That's what they're doing. Trump just wanted to seem like he was on Netanyahu's side because him and Netanyahu are their besties or whatever.
I think Netanyahu bribed him. I think he just said, I'll buy a load of your fucking cryptocurrency or whatever. You'll be a billionaire.
Yeah, he was like, I don't have that bomb or those planes.
Yeah.
Please, Mr. Trump, could you do it? And Trump was like, okay, but I'm only doing this one thing.
Yeah, if you pay me loads of money because I'm a cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim Ballum, thank you very much. Have you seen the MTG Roach projected video yet? No?
What?
Tim?
No.
Marjorie Taylor Greene Roach projected video.
Nope.
No, Tim. Sorry, you lost us. You lost us, I'm afraid. Yeah. Trump calls this very weak. He called it very weak.
He said it's very weak, but he thanks Iran for the advance notice. And there have been no other strikes on any other bases. I think that was intentional, that Iran would be like, this is the place we're going to bomb at this time, on this day. Make sure everyone's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that oh, sorry. I just put the squeaky tank back on. I'm obsessed with the squeaky tank. People are saying it might. This is like the way Iran has responded, but told them they were going to send these missiles over. It may be an off ramp for both the US and Iran to avoid further escalation.
I mean, honestly, it's either that or escalation, right? They bomb something for real, and then Trump has to escalate because he has to pretend he's a big boy, and it just goes on. And Trump does. I don't think Trump has any qualms about unleashing a few more really big bombs because he likes it. He enjoys it.
Yeah,
and
he likes,
Hegseth,
pretending to be president.
He likes big bombs, and he cannot lie.
And Hegseth is not going to be like preserving our reserves in case there is a conflict with Russia or China. He's just going to waste it and like, yeah, we'll just, we'll send them. I mean, heaven forbid, what if something happened to one of those like flights? Because also, this is the other thing about the cost. They sent 1 billion freaking jets because they sent 2 flights as a misdirection.
Yeah.
And then flew the real flight, the bombing flight, in the opposite direction and refueled it midair. So it's like, this is so expensive.
And it was so dumb to do that. Those
because
B-2
the shit's
stealth
moved
bombers,
anyway.
Yeah, the B-2 stealth bombers fly so high that anti-aircraft weapons don't work on them.
They're going to run out of gas before they get to the fucking thing.
Right. Like, there's no way you're catching a B-2 bomber with a SAM or like conventional like surface anti-aircraft weapons.
Yeah.
So it was really unreasonable to send like the 100+ planes that they sent.
Yeah.
Plus they fired some cruise missiles from some ships in the ocean.
Yeah.
Like 30-something cruise missiles. So
sending Tomahawks in.
Listen, Trump just wanted to let a few missiles off the chain because he hasn't done it yet this term, and he felt like he had to do something. Even though he said he was going to wait 2 weeks, he was like, I'm not.
But they forgot all about that. They forgot all about that because he decides
he loves
what America first is.
He loves the 2 weeks thing, though, doesn't he? He said everything's going to be 2 weeks. There's two supercuts that I've seen in the last week. One of which is Netanyahu saying every year since 1992 that the Iranians were just a few months away from having a nuclear weapon. And the other one was Trump saying 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we're going to do something in 2 weeks. Just wait, 14 days, 2 weeks. If only you Americans had a word for 2 weeks. make things a lot easier.
Oh, that very popular gaming
Yeah.
Four
phenomenon.
score.
And 4 score and 70. No,
Wait, isn't a score a month?
a score is 20.
20.
Four score.
And 20 years ago, so that'll be 84. It's like counting
What a
in
stupid-
French.
I was about to say, I was like, isn't that like someone else's numbering system?
Yeah.
French people, get it together.
You got to do all the adding up. I think like 80, what was it? 70, no, 89 in French is 4 times 20 plus 10 plus 9. That's how you say it.
Good luck, French people.
Yeah, there's also a Taylor Swift song called Fortnite, which was on her Dead Poets Society album, whatever it's called.
Are you still mad at her? Do you still hate Taylor Swift?
No, Mikey, I never hated Tay-Tay. Stop that. Stop that. I'll put you in the
Graham,
naughty corner.
How could you hate Taylor Swift?
I don't know
Don't
why
hate
he did.
Taylor Swift.
I don't know why he did, but he's over it now, guys. The hatred has ceased.
Hey, guys, good news. The Supreme Court allows Trump to swiftly deport certain immigrants to third countries.
Oh,
Great.
Yay, Supreme Court.
Good for them.
that's what happens if you stack the Supreme Court with gobshites.
Literal morons who cry about calendars.
There's a lot going
5-4
on.
decision.
5-4.
Yeah.
They got the breakdown.
I bet Comey Barrett didn't vote for it. She's become more liberal in her old age.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. I mean, it is June 23rd. They're supposed to be done by the end of the month. So it's going to be a wild week.
Oh, they got loads of horrible things to do.
I think I'm feeling sick, Tim. It might be you this week. I feel a little Trump derangement syndrome kicking in. I gotta take some time off away from all this stuff. I'm gonna go find a island off the coast of Panama to go conquer.
That was a good idea.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was 6-3. It was all the conservative justices versus
all the
the
six.
liberal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why didn't fucking Biden do something when he was told by the Supreme Court that he was above the law? That moment, that day, that night, he should have gone out. I mean, done all the normal stuff first. You know, he should have run down the street naked, shooting guns everywhere and eating pizza. Done all that, right? But then,
Ice
after he'd had his
cream.
fun, eating ice cream out of a fucking
He
bucket.
fucking loves ice cream.
He loves an ice cream cone. That man is only happy on camera when there's an ice cream cone in his hand. Cake cone.
Whatever mad shit he wants to do, just get it all out of his system because he's above the law. And then the next day, he should have fucking just had Trump arrested and put him in a box. Arrest the orange man, put the orange man in the box, turn off the CCTV cameras, and hope he does an Epstein.
Well, this is better than having a black woman as president. I mean, who would want that? That would be terrible.
Yeah.
Who would want a status quo Democrat to be president?
Right.
Honestly, a moderate status quo Democrat. Who would want that?
A literal prosecutor. A super cop.
Dorco in the chat is saying AOC for president. How do you two feel about that? Do you think that she could do it, or do you think that it's a bit
Probably
pie in the
2030,
sky?
or was it 2032?
Yeah.
2032. I don't think 2028 is going to be AOC's year. I think she still needs some time in Congress.
And I think it's a mistake to try to come in as the change candidate to change everything, and be that other like you need a buffer president first. You know what I'm saying? Like someone who can lay the groundwork for a progressive to really take off. Because if it just turns into the same sexism, racism shit, then we're gonna be right back where we started.
Yeah.
But if we had something like, I don't know, a Walls Pritzker ticket, some standard issue Midwestern white dudes.
Mikey just wants his billionaire governor to be president.
He doesn't have that many billions. Okay, it's like 4
Um,
billion.
Peter M, thank you very much for the super chat. It's a good thing that America has all those safeguards. I don't know if you're saying that in sarcastic tone of voice, mate, but
What?
either way,
What's
thank you for the money.
what safeguards? We don't
Well,
have a constitution anymore.
Pam Bondi just said
do.
it was okay for him to have that fucking jet from Qatar.
it just can be interpreted in any way, shape, or form that you feel. You know,
He said at least a couple of times that he doesn't know if he has to follow the Constitution.
I have that on the
So-
soundboard.
Tim, are you wearing a t-shirt?
Am I wearing a t-shirt?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so is Mikey. You see, you had the right to bear arms. You have
Guinness.
the right to have bare arms. Do you see what I mean?
I have a knife arm.
Yeah, that's
Whoa. Take it. It's mango. It's mango.
Can you cook me something when I come visit Canada? Throw it over the border. Big trebuchet.
I'm not in Canada.
I know. That's what you need, the trebuchet. Throw it at me.
I do have access to an actual trebuchet.
Here's your roast dinner, you bastard.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this. Not surprised. Not surprised. Of course you have a fucking friend with a trebuchet. Get him on
It's
the
not
show.
my trebuchet, but yes, I do have
Lisa-
access to someone who has built a trebuchet, and I've seen it in action.
Is that covered under your Second Amendment then? It's
Yeah.
not really a
You know-
firearm,
no,
is it?
no,
more
it's
just
not.
a
You
spring
can't
loaded
have.
arm.
It is illegal to have siege weapons. I looked it up.
Where's that? Where's that in the laws? Where?
I looked it up. Every state's probably got one, except for probably Texas. But you can't, because
Hold
I was like, yo, I'm gonna just get fucking cannons in my house. Like, fucking come to my front door. I'm blasting you with
Well, I
fucking
think-
Bob Om from fucking Mario 64. This Shakoom, fucking launch their asses off my property. But apparently that's illegal.
Tim's just dropped in a super chat. Thank you very much, Tim. America has their own led by donkeys, which is called VJ Bomb. VJ Bomb. Does anyone know VJ Bomb? VJ Bomb.
Here you go, Mikey. There are no laws that
Here we go.
specify trebuchets as a weapon in the United States. It is not illegal until you use it to destroy property.
But it doesn't say anything about people.
Or injure someone.
Damn it.
So
See, I told you it's
you
illegal.
can have the trebuchet, you can look at it, you can fire it, you can't blow up anyone's house with it.
What if I use it to first throw up some sort of powdery substance and then I shoot an arrow into the powder and then it ignites and scares them? I use the trebuchet as a show of force.
So
Manual fireworks.
I think that might work.
VJ Bomb. So it's V, letter V, J, J-A-Y, like the name J, and then bombs with an S. If you go to them on Instagram, and basically, yeah, they do projection stunts where they project stuff onto walls about Trump and Musk and fake news and Jesus being arrested and all that kind of jazz. So well worth a follow, as I've just discovered. Right.
What did Jesus get arrested for?
He's illegal.
It was illegal. Yeah, he was doing
Oh.
illegal stuff. Well, he was just upsetting the status quo, wasn't he?
Oh, all right. Was it
Being
a
a rebel.
white Jesus
No.
or a brown
Ooh,
No, it would have been a
Jesus?
brown Jesus because he was from the Middle East.
Oh,
2,000
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, in America, there's a lot of white Jesus statues.
Yeah,
In
he wasn't
churches.
white.
What you talking about? Jesus had blue eyes. He had
Blonde
a
hair.
gentle blonde frock.
Well,
And he
here's,
was he
here's
was
the thing.
ripped.
Here's the thing, right? He probably didn't exist. So you could probably just say he looked
What do you
whatever
mean?
want,
He
'cause
was
you can say-
handsome.
You know, Bilbo Baggins, he didn't exist, so people can't get upset if they get a black.
I
person playing.
saw a movie with a guy and everyone was calling him Bilbo. So, I mean, seems more real than a book. This is video proof.
So
4K.
Mandani, who's running in New York for mayor, it's the
He's great.
primary this week, isn't it? Is that tomorrow?
Yeah,
They're doing the
tomorrow.
first
Yeah,
round
New York
of
City
voting.
primary.
So can you just explain to me how this how this works? It's ranked voting.
Ooh,
If
it's ranked
no
choice voting. I know
if-
all about this.
If no
Tim,
one gets over
break it
50%
down.
in the first round, then it'll go to a second round. Is that how it's going to work, Tim?
So yes, this is ranked choice voting is also known as automatic rerun poll voting. So the way it works is when you vote, you rank the candidates in order of person you like the most, the person you like the least. And once they tabulate the first round of votes, all the number one votes get counted, and if nobody gets 50%, whoever is the lowest, like whoever gets the least number of votes, they drop out, and all their votes go to the number two person on that person's ballot. So it keeps going until there is a 50%.
Yeah.
Plus one.
But you only vote once.
You only vote once. It's automatic. It's an automatic rerun system where you don't have to go out and vote again. You just rank all the candidates in order of who you want, most to least.
Yeah.
And then it's automatically tabulated until someone gets 50% plus one.
Okay. So even though Cuomo's getting like plus 19, plus 13, plus 17 in the polls, if you add Mandami's numbers to the other two, Brad Lander and Adrian Adams, so if everyone who was voting for them two also, voted for Mandami second or third, their votes would go to him. So this could be quite a competitive race, because it doesn't look very competitive at the moment. It's like Andrew Cuomo, who's a sex pest, horrible twat, corrupt as fuck.
And yes, he let people die in retirement homes during COVID. So, and he hid those numbers. Everyone forgets that. He hid that shit.
A few polls have him have Cuomo immediately clearing the 50% threshold needed to win the race without going to ranked choice voting. But in most surveys that simulate the ranked choice balloting process, Cuomo clears 50% in the final round of voting.
Here's the problem with the Cuomos.
Bum bum bum. Wait, I gotta
click way back in the 90s. Andrew Cuomo's dad, Mario Cuomo, was governor of New York, and he was super popular, way popular. They wanted him to run for president against Bush Senior, and he wouldn't do it because he wouldn't do it because he didn't want to be president. Like, he just wanted to be governor of New York. But like the Cuomo name is so fucking popular in New York that, like, even though Andrew Cuomo is a terrible person, Cuomo is a name that generates enough notoriety that people are like, oh yeah, I remember.
It's like the dailies. It's like the dailies in Chicago.
Yeah. Like, I don't get it. I don't get why New York City is constantly electing assholes to be their mayors. Because Eric Adams is terrible. De Blasio was okay. But then you had Bloomberg, Giuliani.
Remember Bloomberg tried to buy his way into the fucking election? Oh, yeah. He's like, look, I'm coming in, damn it. Put me in the primary.
I got $100 million. Let's go.
So I'm going on the debate stage today.
So this primary takes place tomorrow.
Yes.
And it's just people who are registered Democrats. Does that mean they're actually a part of the party, so they pay their dues to the Democrat Party? Do they pay like $3 a month to be part of the party?
Nobody pays dues. No,
so when you register
in America, when you register to vote, you can register with a party, or you can register it as unaffiliated. And New York has what's called a closed primary system. So if you're a Democrat, you can vote in the Democratic primaries. If you're a Republican, you can vote in the Republican primaries. And if you're unaffiliated, you can go fuck yourself. And
pick the side.
Should have picked. There's no dues or anything.
But
you don't have, as long as you're registered.
Couldn't you just lie and vote for someone who's shit?
Yeah, but you have to be registered with the party.
Yeah, so you register, you're a Democrat, and you vote for the worst possible outcome.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a time limit for when you can do that. There's like, you have to register by a certain date.
Yeah.
I mean, you could if you wanted to, but who has that kind of time? Who wants to put that kind of effort in?
I don't know. This is the mad thing about people thinking there's lots of people out there who want to like get a bunch of dead relatives to vote for. No one cares that much. Get over yourself.
Especially, I mean, New York City, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like
Peter M, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Jesus is the wrong type of Christian. Very good. True as well. John C, thank you very much for the £10. If the King's English was good enough for Jesus Christ, it's good enough for the children of Texas. That was said by Texas Governor Mar Ferguson. God help the USA.
Which now all the Texas schools must have the 10 Commandments posted It is
So
law. It is law.
But the primary tracking in New York is phenomenal. Like February the 3rd, Mandani was on 1%. In March 21st, he was on 10%. In May 23rd, he was on 22%. He's now on 30. Oh, sorry. He's now on 32%. His graph just goes like this. Whereas
well, here's
Andrew Cuomo's just kind of hovers around 35.
here's another wrinkle. They've been voting. They have early voting.
Yeah.
So they've been
Welcome, Stephen.
voting since June 14th. So tomorrow is actually the last day of voting.
Right.
And New York City is not known for running good elections. The last time they had a mayoral primary that Eric Adams ran in, it was their first ranked choice voting election, and their election board fucked it up. They released results that were incomplete, and they released them early, and people lost their minds. So
look, the wrinkles have been ironed out. It's fine, Tim. It'll be fine. Damn it.
the problem is the people who are on their elections board aren't elections people. They're just party people,
Hacks.
or they're not even like vote. They're just appointed by whoever. They're not experts in the field. They don't know how to run elections. They're just there because they're someone's favorite person.
How much, Tim, are you going to charge for the consulting fee?
A lot.
A lot. Okay.
A lot.
Well, they can email us at thevinpodcast@gmail.com. Tim is for hire. He will show you. What was your thesis on?
My thesis was on public financing for elections, but I also wrote a paper recently on ranked choice voting.
He doesn't know anything about the topic, but I feel like he could help you guys not fucking screw up the spreadsheet.
A paper that was presented at a conference, so it's semi-published.
Oh, wow. So
It's
it's good
myself
that
with smart people.
It's great that you've got that. Like, we had that in our mayoral contest in London, and then they got rid of it, and now they've gone back to straightforward first past the post, put an X in the box, which is the shittest way of doing it. At least with the rank voting, you do get, they're all positive votes until someone gets over 50%. So every single poll has Andrew Cuomo winning this, except for one that came out yesterday, I think, for Emerson, or maybe the day before, which had Mamdani winning by 48-52, winning 52-48. The infernal ratio.
That famous ratio.
After all the other ranked votes were taken out. So he's got a good fighting chance. This should be quite interesting. So when do we find out? Is it overnight, or would it be tomorrow?
It probably, because there's a lot of early voting and because of ranked choice voting, results probably won't be until Wednesday.
Okay. Oh yeah,
because they can't count votes until after 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And then it's going to take a while to actually tabulate the votes because it's not as simple as just voting for one guy.
Right.
John C, thank you very much for the super chat. So, has there been an excess of coveting thy neighbor's ass in Texas? Yeah, your neighbor's donkey. Watch out for that little, sexy donkey over next door. If you covet that,
just don't go to Texas. Just don't go to Texas.
I'm playing the squeaky tank.
Joanna's threatening to tell everyone how to build a primitive nuke. Joanna, not on this channel. Thanks. Go somewhere else to do that. Anarchist cookbook over there. Paul says...
Sorry. Go. I was going to say, a couple of states to avoid in this country. Texas, Florida, Mississippi.
And 47 others. And 5 overseas territories.
You know what? Hey.
Go to California. Just not the parts that are on fire all the time.
Chicago's the best city in the world. Well, St. Louis is, but it's right next to it. So,
what you tell us about this Chicago place, it's either absolutely freezing the brass monkeys off a brass monkey.
It is very cold.
Or it's absolutely roasting and you need air conditioning.
It is 100 degrees right now.
Do you ever have a nice day?
We have
He's got
we have one. It's the spring and the vernal and
one day.
what's it called?
Equinox.
Those equinox.
The equinox.
Yeah. And we get about
Finally, I don't have to
6
thump fuck
hours.
with the thermostat. Brilliant.
Just 6 hours in that transition period, and then you get like you go out there like, ooh, and then boom, snow and ice right in your face. Just
know
a
what?
snowball. Just
I thought it was so funny watching all the TikTok videos of last week, people complaining about the heat here in the UK. He says wearing a fleece, like, because they're right in a way. Like, the reason why the heat is so oppressive in the UK is just that we don't have any air conditioning, because we only have 2 days of oppressive heat, and then that's it. That's it for the rest of the year. You know, it's back to cold and wet. It's just not worth it for 2 days.
Even in Connecticut, it's almost 100 degrees right now. I get Mikey's weather just a day later.
mhm.
Yeah.
So like I'm under some sort of excessive heat warning. They told me not to go outside. Don't go outside. There's a heat warning and there's an air quality warning because it's so goddamn hot.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if the forest fires up in Canada got settled yet. We had like and that didn't used to happen all the time. Where maybe they just didn't warn us about it all the time. But every time that they're having forest fires now, there are huge swaths of Illinois that are just like completely red for like poor air quality from the forest fire smoke.
Joanna's saying, I now have AC, loving it.
I mean, but we have a furnace in the house, and then we have an AC unit that's outside, and then everything's controlled through the same apparatus. That's been every house I've ever been in since I was like 5.
Yeah.
Like every house everywhere has them.
Yeah.
Mikey, did you ever turn them both on at the same time? Let them fight, see who wins?
Yes. And I slid down the stairs into the steamy jungle downstairs. It was great.
It is mad though. You go to like, Saudi Arabia or Dubai or somewhere, and it's so fucking hot. It's like 50 fucking degrees C, and your body shuts down in that heat. Your body just can't. You get to a point where you can't sweat anymore because your internal temperature is so hot. But everything is AC, and it's like so frustrating because these are petrostates. So in order to fuel the AC, it's all petrochemicals, all of it. And you're in a desert, you fucking dickheads. The amount of solar power you guys could have if you built a solar city the size of York. Not New York, just York. It will power the whole fucking country. And they just don't. They're just like, oh no, I can't. Don't want to do that. I'll keep burning the oil.
I like when they do the mirrors in the tower. You know what I'm talking about? Where they just where they got like a big obelisk in the center, and then they got all the mirrors facing at it, and it fucking superheats the water that's in the tower. It's like 500 fucking degrees. I'm like, from mirrors? Oh, we gotta make one of these. This is great. This is free energy. This is every little kid's dream.
I think it's salt, isn't it? Salts or a type of salt that they melt, and that only melts at a really, really high temperature. And
I think it's NAC that they have in there.
NAC.
That's sodium. It's like sodium something. Yeah, that's nasty shit. You don't want to expose that to air.
Yeah, but the problem is for like the UK is it'd be great to have a solar city in the Sahara, but because you lose power in transmission lines, you try to run a cable from Tutankhamun, what the fuck is wrong with me, Timbuktu to London, you'd lose so much power on the way. Just not worth it.
Here's what you guys can do. Why don't you run your panels on bad weather?
Well,
there you go.
Solar panels are more efficient when it's cold. So actually, on a sunny winter's day, you'll get more power per hour out of your solar panels than you would on a hot sunny day. John C, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. About time you started using Celsius in the US as a small step towards the Enlightenment. Cheeky John.
I'm sorry. I use the Kelvin scale,
which is based on Celsius.
The true scale.
It is based on Celsius, though. The increments.
I like to know how close I am to absolute zero.
Yes.
That's how I measure everything now.
which is minus 273, is it? Point something?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I, the last few days, because it has been quite hot here in the UK, and I think you're taking the piss out of it, but it has been hot. And it's infinitely frustrating that you'll go somewhere, they'll have a big fucking car park, like an open air car park. And it's like, if you put verandas up with solar panels on top, not only would it make fuckloads of free electricity, it would also shade my fucking car. So it's not like getting into a fucking Swedish sauna, you know, in that moment, you know, when you get in the car and because it's all electric windows now. So, you got to wait for the fucking car to realize that you're sitting in it before you can let the windows down, or you put the AC on, it takes a few seconds to get going.
You open the window, you let all the hot air out. You'll open the door, you let all the hot air out. And then when you get in the car, you leave the door open and then you turn on the car.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you have to also remember, American, we have the best ACs in our car.
Yeah. My car is pretty good AC. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Well,
us in Russia.
I had a car where I broke the AC, and that was a bad summer.
Oh yeah.
I once drove through the Australian outback in an old Holden panel van that didn't have air conditioning.
On purpose?
Yeah.
Was it a bespoke van? Is that what's going on there?
No,
did you lose a bet?
We just wound down the window and just cruised along.
Just breathe the red sand directly into your lungs.
It's all good.
That's why he's a ginger.
You drive on the sand. You drive on tarmac or asphalt, as you guys call it. You drive on the road.
That's not interesting in my story.
Well, there was a bit where there was a dip.
You said outback.
And June had gone across the strip, and my partner at the time was driving, and I was like, "Go fast, so we get across this really quick." And she thought that I actually said, "Slow down and do it really slowly." And so we can
get beached.
We got trapped in the sand for about an hour until someone came and towed us out.
Just completely.
You know when you hear about these tourists who go into the outback with half a fucking pint of water and a couple of saltine crackers and that's it, and they're like, how could you go out so unprepared?
This is a complete tangent. But Graham, did you hear about that guy who was doing the marathons out in the desert and he got lost and fucking he got hit with a sandstorm and just ran it? It is the most harrowing tale of the worst case scenarios happening over and over to the same guy. So he ran 12 miles off of the racetrack and just kept going. Super endurance athlete. So it was horror. He's written a book about it or whatever. I'll send you the link.
I've got it here. I'm looking at it. Mauro Prosperi. In 1994, he was running an ultramarathon through the Sahara when he was blown off course by a sandstorm. Fuck me. Wow.
It was it's crazy. And then he's gone back and done it again after this experience.
Bat's urine. Okay, I've put that in. I put that link in our chat here.
Talk about your rough days.
He drank their blood.
I love that he went back there. Fucking, that reminds me. You ever seen the film Touching the Void about the two climbers? And one of them, one of them slips, and they're doing the climbing thing where they're attached to each other. So if one falls, the other one can dig in. The other one digs in, but he's sliding towards the end, and he's got to cut the rope because otherwise he's going to get pulled over the cliff as well. So he cuts the rope, and then he goes off thinking his mate's dead, and his mate survived and broke both his legs and really fucked himself, but he was still alive, and he had to crawl back to civilization. It's up in the Andes, right? And it's a documentary about it. And not only did they get the original guys, because he survives, it's a happy ending to it. I don't want to ruin it, but he does survive because he's in the documentary, so it's a bit obvious from the start. Yeah. But it's not just that.
I died on that mountain.
It's not just it's not just that they're talking about it. There's parts where you see the reenactment of what happened, right? And you would expect maybe they got a couple of stunt guys in to do the reenactment because they've got the faces covered. Who fucking knows who it is? No, they got the actual fucking climbers who actually went through this to reenact it for the fucking documentary Touching the Void. Fucking hell.
And these were two black people?
No.
Oh, I figured. I figure.
Oh, I don't think black
Because I'm
people are
telling you
that
right
fucking
now,
crazy or
I'm
stupid.
telling you right now, if Tim cuts me off the cliff, motherfucker, you better live up that mountain. You bet not. You bet not never take one step lower than where you are right now. If you come 1 inch down this mountain, I will eat your skull.
Yeah, but
I will eat it over the course of days.
they understand.
You ain't got no legs. You can't do nothing to me.
Well, just you wait. I'll come back.
The guy who fell, he understood why his mate cut the rope because he was like, "Well, I would have done
Fuck
the
that.
same in your position."
Come get me. Why didn't he come
He
back?
can't,
Oh,
because he thought he was dead.
no,
he fell
I'm
off a
climbing
cliff.
down. Then I'm gonna just keep climbing the damn mountain.
He fell like 100 feet or something. He only survived because he landed in soft snow at the bottom of some
Listen.
ravine.
So I'm saying I've cut Tim, and Tim is plummeting to his death, I imagine, into a cloud, fucking Mufasa style, right? I'm supposed to just go up to the top of the mountain like, yay!
No, he didn't go up. He didn't continue climbing.
That's what I asked.
No, he didn't go to the top. He just went, oh shit, and went back.
Oh, okay, he went back. I was about to say, if this motherfucker just went to the summit, it was like, all right, we almost 50%.
We did it.
I think there was something mad, like he got it. The one who fell, he got back to the camp, and his mate had waited for him just in case. He'd waited for him for like a week. And then he had left like literally an hour before his mate got there. And he was like, his mate turned up, he just like sees the smouldering fire and he's like, fucking hell. He'd have to drag himself all the way from the ravine, down the hill, down the mountain. But yeah, it doesn't really make me want to go and do this kind of shit. It's like 127 hours. You know, we get his arm trapped for a length of time. I can't remember how long. It doesn't really sell it to me. There was a story today, an awful story about a wingsuit guy. You know, these guys who wear the wingsuits and fly. And he died. He's only 24.
Like I see, like that's how I move around in my dreams.
Yeah.
And like their little GoPro footage is like, I'm like, that's my shit. That looks awesome. No way in hell.
Just not doing it.
No
Just not
way.
doing it.
Absolutely. And I want to skydive and shit like that. I think that would be awesome. People jump out of planes all the time. That parachutes are a thing. It's fine.
Yeah.
But the fucking wingsuit going down a mountain at Mach 1.1 with a fucking Red Bull suit on. I'm like, is that okay? Can your brain take that much? Okay.
There's just too many things that could go wrong, which lead to death. Do you know what I mean? It's like a choose your own adventure book where every page you go to, it says you die. You died of dysentery.
I mean, best case scenario, I just got down the mountain in like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, instant death. Immediate instant death.
A heat pump is basically an AC with an extra valve that can reverse. Because obviously AC units create a lot of heat outside, don't they? In the same way that the back of your fridge creates heat. So if you want to get cool, don't open your fridge and stand in front of your fridge because it actually makes the room warmer because it heats up at the back as much as it cools down at the front. True story. So yeah. Physics, motherfucker.
Whoa. The Ale says here, the fastest speed recorded in a wingsuit is 550 kilometers per hour.
Fuck off.
God,
or 342 miles per hour.
No, imagine sneezing and then dying because you sneeze and go, oh fuck, and then you just spiral and hit the ground. Like, just you go
a bird.
You hit a bird. There's so many things. It's where I start getting like
a fucking grocery bag floating through the sky.
Yeah. Oh my god, plastic bag on the face. Jesus.
A birthday balloon.
Oh, no, I'm just no. Too many things that could go wrong.
342 raw dogging 342 with no car or jet or nothing is crazy.
Yeah.
That's like a low caliber bullet.
Yeah.
Not far off. Holy shit.
Anyway, Qatari airspace is now reopened following the missile attack. And Israeli military teams have now issued a new evacuation warning for Tehran. They've said people in District 7 of Tehran need to get out of there.
Hey, Graham, I need you to evacuate your backyard, please.
No.
Well, you better do it.
Nope.
Can you evacuate Ginger Island?
Probably.
Not at the moment. That you know where? Well, we're going to talk about this tomorrow. Me and Ollie, other Ollie, in
Wow.
on Geoscope, but it's all kicking off in Panama. There's proper riots going on and shit, and the blockade in the roads, and people have died.
I saw the farm equipment going across and blocking shit.
Yeah, so things are kicking off in Panama at the moment, which isn't great. Green Elf, I worked on heat pump research when I lived in Spain. Variable speed compressors are the newer, more efficient versions that would be more suitable for smaller spaces, houses, basically. The problem is in this country, though, in the UK, all our houses are 100 years old. This house here is over 130 years old.
Oh, you got ghosts.
Oh, yeah. Mostly
You
cows.
got mad ghosts up in that
Cows,
motherfucker.
sheep. We got some wallabies recently because our farm
Do you
neighbor had some.
my
wallabies.
entire neighborhood was built in 91.
91 days.
You know, the deliberate obtuseness is what gets me. Yeah, like
So
we don't
does it-
even have old stuff like that around me.
Does it work? Is it not falling apart?
Yeah, it's fine.
Because this place is it's just a constant delight of more fucking things that have possibly gone wrong. I had to get the asbestos guys in today to check the Artex downstairs. It's got fucking asbestos in.
That's the beauty of building things after all that stuff's been banned.
Yeah,
Is you don't have to usually worry about it.
Well, talking of asbestos, Trump has just reversed a Biden era order to the last vestige of asbestos to be banned in America from sale is now back on sale. And could either of you guys hazard a guess at who the biggest exporter of asbestos is?
Ooh. Kazakhstan.
No,
It is obviously
nearby, bit north.
Oh, north of Kazakhstan, that would be Chile. Thank you.
No, it's Russia. Russia's the biggest exporter of asbestos, which kills people. Yay!
We get the infomercials the commercials all the time. Have you been exposed to asbestos?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have asbestosis? Call this number for a class action lawsuit in your area.
If you or a loved one been
Exposed to asbestos?
call us now and we'll get you your settlement.
And honestly, like that's half of the holdup with the housing crisis is whenever people do buy like a fixer-upper place, they have no idea what's in these places. They're winning them at auctions, and then lo and behold, the house is full of asbestos, full of it, which means you can't just have your cousin's demo crew come in there. You gotta have the suits, it's gotta be disposed of properly. And if you don't do that, you're in even deeper shit. So if only we had some sort of like national program to just like rid the country of asbestos and we could like federally fund it, but I mean, hey, or we could take all that money, put it into 14 bombs and drop it in the desert.
Doc Davis says, make asbestos great again.
We're making it as best as we can. Bah! Squeaky tank.
Okay, so we're going to wrap up in a moment. Was there anything that you wanted to talk about that we haven't covered this evening, gentlemen? I wanted to talk about what's going down in Iran and Israel and
I'll have to look it up later, but I would like to figure out exactly how much that strike costs. Oh, Tim Ballum, £5 British pounds. Not how heat pumps work, Graham. We live in a 95-year-old house, and ours works fine. Air
We're about
horn.
to have a super chat fight.
Ours could work fine, but would have to do a lot of modifications to the house to make it work fine, because this house is cold and drafty and ancient and
Haunted.
rickety and haunted. And my point wasn't that it couldn't work. It's just at the moment this house is too old.
Do you
Without
think
a lot
it's
of
cold?
money being spent on shit?
Do you think it's cold because of the draft or cold because of the ghosts?
The ghosts mostly. A lot of people died in here. Well, I mean, this room here used to be the butcher's shop. So
No, it wasn't.
There were a lot of screaming animal ghosts that we have in this particular room.
Dude, you got haunted ghosts of animals in there?
Yeah.
Nah, brother.
He's got ghost animals.
Yeah.
Yo. Badgers.
Squeal, little piggy.
The badgers.
We don't eat badgers. You wouldn't be able to buy badger from the fucking butcher
not today. You don't eat it because it's socially unacceptable. But in the past, maybe, possibly.
I don't think badgers would taste very nice because they're carnivores.
Oh, why'd you go straight to taste, huh? How do you know it wasn't for fur? Because you know that you like to eat badgers.
Well, I mean,
who would wear a badger?
I've eaten squirrel, but that's not. I think
isn't that why England conquered most of the world so they could eat random animals?
Correct.
No, so we can make hats out of them. Not eat them. I mean, we're not savages.
You got badger hats?
Skin them and make fucking hats out of them, motherfuckers.
Oh my God. There's a lady that has like a YouTube channel doing like a fox rescue. They're like, they need to give away these foxes to a place. I'm like, baby, we have to get certified so we could have 2 fox, because they're modern day fur trading.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're raising foxes for fur in 2025, you're getting caught by federal agents by fur trading in 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make America great again.
Well, that was my question. Sorry, that I wanted to ask on Mystery Hour on James O'Brien. My question was going to be, if you were stuck on a desert island and, or in a plane crash in the Andes and you had to resort to cannibalism, would the vegetarians taste better than the meat eaters?
Before I answer that question, we have another $5 British
pounds.
Tim Ballum. He says foresters eat badgers and don't ask them who killed the bear.
Bear sandwiches. Do moose
badger eaters?
Mooses are
Mises.
They're vegetarian, aren't they? Moose don't eat meat, do they? They don't have the teeth for it.
I've seen moose eat some fucking cars.
They eat my dreams. They're truly terrifying animals.
No, the vegetarians would just be leaner, right? That they would just be,
I think a real carnivore would have like a marbly kind of fatty protein.
Yeah, you're talking like burger meat, like 80-20, right?
Yeah.
At least.
Vegetarians would be like 95-5, I think.
Martin Harris says our last house was 250 years old, made of sandstone. So is this one.
What?
Warm in winter once you've warmed it up, and cool in summer because of the thick walls. The walls here are so thick that we had a guy come to put an outlet pipe in for our boiler downstairs, and he turned up with for hot water, and he turned up a combi boiler. He turned up with his drill to drill this hole, and I'm like, you're gonna be there a while, He's like, oh no, I'll be fine. It'll, I said, how long does it normally take? He says, about 10 minutes to get through. And he was there 3 hours later, still drilling through the fucking wall. It's like a fucking castle. It's like a castle wall.
He should have brought the extra batteries.
Yeah,
because he was probably sitting there like,
we've definitely got the cool in summer thing going on, which was intentional when this place was built because they wanted to keep cold meat downstairs. So even on really, really hot days, it's only
people and badger meat
downstairs. But we just can't get it warm in the winter. We just can't. We still need to do some work, and we will get there eventually, I think. But there's only so many radiators you can put in a room.
Billy Kershaw in the chat says panther flesh is the best, so I've heard. Billy, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and fill out this paperwork, and I'm gonna need a blood sample, a hair sample, and your passport, please, because you have traveled and eaten some panther, and that was a confession, and we're on to you, sir.
Vendetta says
we know.
Vendetta says this place is stone. They always struggle drilling these walls. I know it's actually quite funny because they turn up and like, oh, there'd be no problem. And then it's like 3 hours later, they're like, fucking wall, why won't it make a hole? After they've ruined a load of drill bits.
Maybe it's just this modern technology, but our walls are pretty thin. I mean, we have like the retaining wall, you got some insulation, and then you got like drywall on the other side. That's it. Everything's
what's
pretty.
what's drywall?
Everything's pretty.
Is that like plasterboard?
Gypsum.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like plasterboard, we'll call it over here.
Yeah.
But you've got a lot more sort of wooden houses in America.
Yeah,
don't
my
you?
house is made out of wood.
My house is wood.
Yeah, because we just really don't have them at all here. They're like nowhere is made of wood.
Yeah.
Because it was
Oh,
all
You have a different, wetter, rainier climate. It's windier.
It is wind. No, I wouldn't say it's windier necessarily. I just
Not
think it's
than me.
not as extreme. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. It's just one of those things that we didn't really do. Maybe because we cut down all our ancient forests.
Maybe
And there
because
was
you
no
maybe
extra
it's because
wood.
you built Stonehenge.
Yeah.
What a
That's
waste
nice.
of housing material. Just stacked up in the set.
They dragged those fucking stones from Wales. Can't we look up on the map how far they dragged those bastard stones? Like, it just
How do they know they came from Wales?
because you can test them. The scientists can look at the composition of the rock and say, well, this comes from here. It's like a fingerprint or something.
Nah, I heard aliens did it. That's what the history.
Aliens did
Yeah,
not
that's what I
told
was about to say. Aliens did that
Yeah,
shit.
go on. Aliens did it. Pyramids were definitely humans, but Stonehenge was
Oh,
aliens.
so here's a sneak peek. I can't show the video now, but we'll show it tomorrow, Tim, for headliners at 11 a.m. Central.
Mm.
There's new UAP footage that's been released. Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
I see.
UFO is not a real thing. They're UAPs now. So there's new UAP footage.
Oh.
I guessed it in probably 10 seconds. But the mainstream media gave it a 15-minute segment. And I'm like, this is hilarious. If only people knew about space and how awesome it is. We might have a new Nova to see in the night sky, but it's late.
What, Beetlejuice?
15
Beetlejuice?
There was one smaller. It's not a supernova. It's just a regular periodic or episodic, or what is it? A cyclical nova. So there's like a white dwarf and it's got a sister star and it's eating the sister star, and every time it eats a little bit of it novas. And it's 15 months late. Like, we've been waiting for this shit to fucking pop off, and it hasn't happened yet.
One Angry Pagan says some capitals of the stones came from Wales, Graham. Others were more locally. So, fuck them. I can't even be asked visiting it now. What a piece of shit. I thought
Put
it
them
all
back
came
at-
from fucking Wales. Fuck them. Useless
Give
cunts.
give Wales their fucking stones back.
Call that a
Yeah.
fucking calendar. The Pirelli calendar. Now, that's a fucking calendar.
Drag it over there by hand
Yeah.
and put it back over.
Not having this. Are these all from Wales? No, some of them are from Wales. Well, fuck you.
Ow.
That's what I say.
Into the ocean.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Into the trebuchet. Fuck off, Stonehenge.
Oh my god!
Hey.
Can you imagine?
We're joking. It's a joke. Scandinavia knows how to do a wooden house, says Green Elf, and Martin's saying the warehouse conversions in Liverpool are notoriously cold. They were designed that way before refrigeration. Yeah, I think this place was designed that way as well. Tim, we've lost our Mikey. One of our Mikeys is missing.
He's
just ran off.
gone. He left.
Maybe he shot himself.
He just, sometimes he just wanders off.
Yeah, to commit crimes, possibly.
Wow.
Yeah. We should ring the police. What's your number over there? It's 911, isn't it, for the police?
Yeah.
Isn't that bad?
Don't-
Don't you feel bad when you
don't-
call the police? Because first of all, you're calling the police and they're evil and corrupt.
Mikey,
But secondly,
Graham's trying to swat you.
I'm not trying to swat you. I'm just asking. What
Do
the
not
number
call
is.
the police
for the
for
police.
my benefit. Ever.
You've been a
Ever. I'll figure it out.
Right. So if you type in 9/11 into a phone, doesn't that bring up bad memories?
No.
You think they'd
No.
change it, wouldn't they?
No.
Why would they change it?
Because it's
What happened
9/11, isn't it?
what's 9/11?
It was the day that the planes hit the buildings and everyone died.
What buildings?
The buildings in New York, the Twin Towers and the Pentagon got hit by planes.
Those are still there, aren't they?
Not the Twin Towers because they were ugly, so they just cut them down and made some new ones. Actually,
Okay,
they cut
good.
themselves down.
And we got that Freedom Tower now, right?
They have, yes, they have a Freedom Tower.
Yeah.
But it's not free to get in.
I don't remember anything bad happening on September 11, 2001.
I went in the shop the other day and they had 7-Up free.
Tim, clean that up before they clip you.
I was joking.
Joking.
Jeez, a little thick on the sarcasm there.
It's all right. We were demonetized a long time ago when I dropped the C-bomb.
I will rephrase. I have repressed September 11th, 2001.
Yes, much better.
Yeah, I picked up some 7-Up free, and that's like Diet 7-Up now. It's called 7-Up free.
Ugh. So it's just carbonated water.
But you have to pay for it.
And then there's Graham.
I was like, it's not fair.
You know. And then we got Graham over here.
Oh, do you know what I've got? I've got some Squid Game Doritos. Have you seen the Squid Game Doritos? Have you got that over in the States?
They've gone crazy with the Doritos over here. They got every kind of flavor of Dorito now.
I really like this. Hang on. I'll show you. Hang on one second.
I saw hot mustard Doritos the other day.
Hell yeah. All right, it's gone. Let's talk about them. Hi, guys. Come on over to the Bin Podcast Network and give us a
like
follow.
And subscribe.
We're so close to getting to the... Oh, hi, Graham.
Hi, Graham.
It doesn't
Memberships.
quite work.
Do it.
It doesn't quite work because what it is flaming hot or not. So 1 in 4 crisps are flaming hot, right? And if you were playing this game with someone who really hated really hot chips, then it could work. But because I like the really hot ones and the normal ones, it doesn't quite work for me. But if you played the game, it's sponsored by Squid Game, you see, because it's the last season of Squid Game starts on Friday.
Can I tell you something truly horrifying that I ate the other day?
Wait. Let me riff on this Dorito real quick.
Okay.
First of all of those are medium heat at this point. Like unless they are individually packaged, they're all hot. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. No, some of them.
Some are really, really hot, but all of them motherfuckers is hot.
So basically, that's it. So it's either chili heat wave flavor or flaming hot flavor, which is another flavor that you can just get on its own. If you want a whole pack of flaming hot, but it's fun to play with our youngest because she's only 10.
That's child abuse here.
Yeah.
Tim, what did you eat? Tim, what did you eat? That was crazy.
Going along with the Doritos theme, Wendy's has recently come out with a Takis chicken sandwich, like a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich. And they had like Takis Fuego flavored fries, like they had Takis dust on the fries.
And you bought them.
I have never had something so disgusting in my entire life. It was the saltiest thing I have ever eaten.
I had the worst thing I ever had. So I've eaten some really, really bad shit. So the third worst thing that I've ever eaten was dog in Guangzhou once. I didn't know it was dog. I just pointed at something because the menu was all in Chinese. And it was disgusting. And I actually vomited. The second worst thing I ever ate was stuff called balut, which is in the Philippines, and it's fertilized duck egg. So imagine like a hard-boiled egg, but it's kind of like got a fetus.
I've heard
inside.
of that. That's gross.
It's all like grey and mushy, and it's just horrible. The worst thing I've ever eaten is a fucking Arby's burger. I had no idea. I was in America. I just wanted a fucking burger. And to our viewers in the UK, you know like ham slices, you know, like the ones that are like a scrotum that's like on a hot day, like attached to a leg, and you've got to kind of like it off, right? So they get a bunch of these sweaty ham slices, and then they put it in
beef slices.
Disgusting.
Beef.
Is it beef? Oh,
it's beef.
That's even worse.
If you thought it was a ham sandwich and it tasted like beef, yeah, of course it tastes disgusting.
No, but it was all.
Sorry,
it was all like
the beef and cheddar.
Thin. It was like thin.
Yeah.
Layers of beef. Then corned beef or something. Oh
no, just regular roasted beef.
Roast beef.
Oh, it was fucking horrific. Honestly, it's like someone vomited into my mouth. I couldn't believe how bad it was.
How do you know what that tastes
How
like?
have they managed to sell enough of these to have a fucking franchise? I mean, look,
I love Arby's.
I'm not the biggest
I will
fan.
always love Arby's.
I'm not the biggest fan of McDonald's, but I can tolerate it. I quite like Carl's Jr. That's all right. Popeyes, KFC, whatever. But fuck me, there are no Arby's in the UK. I don't think, with good reason.
You don't deserve them.
It was awful. Honorable mention. I was in Legoland last year in Denmark, and I ordered a kebab, And does it, you know, when you get a kebab, have you ever, anywhere in the world on all your travels to Iran, Iraq, Azerbaijan, to Kazakhstan, to Afghanistan,
I've been to all those countries.
Saudi Arabia, to Oman, have you ever had a stone, like icy cold kebab?
Oh, yeah.
Because I haven't. It's always
in
been
all my
cooked.
worldly travels, I've never encountered an icy kebab.
An icy cold kebab. So the meat in it is icy cold. Not just cold, but like literally just out the fucking freezer. And I took it back and went, the meat's not cooked. And the Danish guy was like, yeah, this is the way we do it here. It's fucking raw or something and cold. I'm like, what is wrong? Anyway, that was pretty bad as well. But not as bad as Arby's. Arby's just tasted of sweaty summer day scrotum.
First of all, you're wrong. Second of all, Arby's is famous for one thing and one thing only.
Tasting like
fries.
The best fucking curly fries ever. Like, so because you went there for something other than the thing that they're famous for is your problem. Like, stop listening to the commercials, talk to the people. Fuck them sandwiches. I eat the sandwich because the sandwich allows me to get the meal to have the large fry. Like, this is just a conduit for me to get their delicious sauce.
Is that the thing where I've got to get the chicken from Popeyes, I get the curly fries from Arby's, and I get the McDonald's milkshake. And finally, we've got a meal.
If the machine's working at McDonald's.
I was about to say, what fucking Narnia fucking reality timeline are you from? Hey, never seen fucking the shake machine and like some hot fries at the same time.
The shake machine, the Listeria machine.
Do you know
the E. coli machine?
There is one company in all of McDonald's that is licensed to render aid to those machines, and that is why they are permanently broken. Is because they have like 40 techs for the country.
They must get around.
They only have like 5 or 6 restaurants, so it shouldn't be that long.
Should be all right. Anyway,
1 trillion
guys,
served.
I did say we needed to wrap this up about 20 minutes ago. I'm very bad at wrapping this shit up. God, we've covered some subjects, haven't we, tonight? We started in Iran, ended up talking about fucking Arby's.
We got one last message here. Trump failed, haha. In the chat says the no new war fucks are all over my TikTok. LOL. What are they saying? Because he can continue to piss off his base all he wants. I'll never stop him. But in the meantime, everyone, come over and hang out with us. We will have to rebuild this. So you will need to know how the old way worked and how maybe some of that shit needs to be changed for the future. Because this shall not stand. Like, it just won't. No one likes anything that he's fucking doing. So the point is coming quickly. So be ready for the reactions. And we need to be ready to capitalize on moments of weakness to push forward progressive ideas.
Yeah.
And take care of people, even people who hate us. Sorry, that's the way it goes. Sometimes you have to help people you hate. Sometimes you got to help people you hate. And
I just want everyone to have a good time. Can't they have a good time without being horrible?
Yeah. And that's a rough reality. Is sometimes you got to take care of people who don't give a shit about you and actively want bad things to happen to you. Yeah. Well, if I try to hurt them, I'll end up hurting myself. So I have to help everybody regardless.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, thank you, Mikey. You're a better man than I. Anyway, Mikey, thank you, and Tim, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight and talking about what's happening over in Statesville, whatever it's called these days, Trump Town. Jesus, Trumpton. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for Morning Brew here on Politics Social. So come over to Politics Social for 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Morning Brew. We've got exciting things happening on Morton Brew. Morton Brew. What's wrong with me? Morning Brew next week. We're going to be tweaking the format a little bit, so watch out for that. But until next time, I'll say thank you so much for watching. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for all the chat. Thanks for watching.
We're supposed to wear pants?
Give us a like on the way out. Give us a like. We always like a like. Even though my like button. Why is me like
slap that like
Why
button.
Is my like button not working, Mikey? What have you done to me like button? Hey?
I had to sell it.
What did you do you know why it is? Because I'm not on my normal stateside setup. That's the problem. That's the problem.
I got bills. I had to get rid of your like button.
I'm gonna do it now. Watch this. Like! Yay! Give us a like.
Oh, it hurts.
That was like stabbing in you. Anyway, so thank you very much. Give us a like on the way out. Until next time, hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.
Toodles.